Alright guys, so this is the live trading, and the market is about to open. It opens in 3 minutes, and I'm gonna be looking at a few stocks here. So this is the first stock, is MRIN. I'm gonna be looking into shorting it. It had a really nice pre-market run. So, and this is the second stock that I'm gonna be looking at. It's RWLR. Both of these stocks I'm gonna be taking short. I'm gonna be taking short position on them. And so the first thing is I'm gonna wait for a spike, because you always need a spike to make this counter move, to make the most money from it. So I'm gonna be waiting for any kind of spikes for these kind of stocks, and I'm gonna be shorting. So this is my TradeZero account, and as you can see, my day realized and unrealized, and this is my Centerpoint account. So these are two of my accounts. So you're gonna see how my positions change over the course of the day. Well, when the positions are gonna be unrealized in left top corner, and on the bottom you'll see how they change and how much money I'm up and down. So first, MRIN, I'm looking for this spike to short into. I've reserved 500 shares, and now my goal is to break it down evenly so I can spread out my risks and I can maximize my profits. So I'm waiting for the spike, and here we go. Here comes the spike, and I'm gonna be looking into shorting this. And statistically, for this pattern, this market cap doesn't really go as far, so I'm shorting 600 shares. I'm shorting another stock, RWLR, and I'm gonna show you. I'm still waiting for MRIN, so the stock right now, and I'm adding some more. So I'm short 1,000 shares, and while I'm short this other stock, MRIN is spiking, and I'm gonna short MRIN. So MRIN, I'm shorting it on my Centerpoint account, the one below this one. So this is where I'm shorting MRIN, and let's wait. So I'm shorting 250 shares, and let's see, it's dropping. And on my other trade, I'm kind of negative right now, minus $43.50. And I'm actually up almost $60 on this other trade. And see, I don't go full size. I think my full size for today is gonna be 500 shares. I'm not gonna go full size, because these stocks, they can spike, especially this kind of market cap. The lower the market cap, the higher it can spike. So there's always the probabilities, the charts that I built, so I know what likelihood of the stock spiking depending on its market cap and float. These data I've collected over the course of the last 3 years, and this is the stock RWLR. These are my two shorts, and I'm currently short 1,000 shares. And again, I spread out my risks depending on the market cap and float of a stock in a different pattern, because different stocks have different squeezing percentages. And I know for a fact that RWLR, this stock you see right now on the screen, is not gonna spike far, and the likelihood is around 92%, so pretty high. That's why I'm not really worried. But at the same time, I want to short 2,000 shares. I want to spread out my risks really evenly, so I don't go in all 2,000 shares all at once, even though I know that this stock is gonna drop. Nothing is really happening now. And I'm in negative in MRIN. While in this stock, I'm positive, so I'm thinking I'll probably add another batch of my shares. I'll short it more after this big drop, because again, these market caps, these floats, this pattern doesn't really hold strongly, especially after this strong candle down. I'm up $100 on MRIN and $46 on RWLR, and I'm just currently waiting to add, and I add another 500 shares after this big red candle. Probably added too soon, because after this red candle there's always some kind of bounce, so I was a little impatient, but not too bad. And the stock is keeping dropping, and I'm also up 140 bucks on MRIN, and MRIN, that's kind of my strongest stock, and I'm kind of looking at MRIN, but this one I only have 1,500 shares, and it's a low price stock, so it's not going to create a lot of range. That's why I'm focusing most of my attention on MRIN, and I'll be looking into adding into spikes for MRIN. So let's go ahead and see what's happening there. And there's a tiny spike here, and again, the stock can still spike because these market caps are the most unpredictable ones, and they can squeeze, they can definitely squeeze. I don't know how it's gonna end up today, but oh well. See, it's dropping. I'm up to 100 bucks, 220 bucks. And at this point, my ultimate risk is my open price, or behind this spike right there. So 1088, that's my ultimate risk. I don't want to risk too much. If it goes to 1088, I'll lose probably like 200 bucks. So my risk is $200-300 with all the commissions, and I'm up 206, and I'm adding another 50 shares, 100 shares, sorry. So yeah, I'm shorting 450 shares at this price, and my total amount of shares is 500. I reserved only 500 shares to short because again, the higher stock price, the higher range can be created, so I don't need this many shares. I don't need to short 2,000 shares, but if it spikes, I'll add another 500 because I'm very convinced in this market cap, this float, and this pattern, and how everything is looking right now. So, but still, I'm very conservative, 500 shares is normally not the size that I'm trading. I usually trade a lot more, but let's see how it goes. And my idea here is to add into the big spike, and on this account I'm up $126.75. And MRIN stock keeps dropping, and this stock, RWLR, is actually having a really nice spike. So my idea is I need to add to these kind of spikes. So my thing is I want to short total 2,000 shares, and I'm currently have 1,500 shares into this stock. So let me see, I'll add another 200. Added another 200, and let's see how it goes. And it drops right away. So 1,700 shares total. And MRIN unrealized around 300, very close to 300. So keeping my eyes on MRIN, that's my main stock for today. We're kind of going through these $300, and the other stock is dropping. MRIN still going through this little base here, little resistance. It can totally spike from here. That's what it usually does, but let's see. So nothing really happening, just keeping going lower and lower. Well, on the other stock, I have a spike. So totally, I'm up close to $400. No, less, 300 something. And my goal is to make close to $2,000. It would be nice. That's the ideal scenario. And add another 200 shares on RWLR. So add another 200 there. But at the same time, I'm looking at MRIN, and it's spiking. As you can see, I basically gave away all of my profits. Only up $36 on my TradeZero account. But it's okay. You know, it's expected. My goal is to add on each little spike, I add some volume to scale my position and to get my average as high as possible. So now I'm up 93, and this stock, look, it's almost breaking through 400 unrealized profit. So total, I'm up around 500. Let's see what's happening here. So yeah, I'm shorting this spikes. Total is 1,900 shares on this stock. Red flags are my entries, so you can see exactly where I enter my stocks. And these are all shorts. I cover my positions all at once. I never cover them partly. And look at this, MRIN keeps dropping, keeps crashing. Almost $500 profit on MRIN. Let's see how low it can keep going. And well, actually, I know exactly where it's gonna go, how low it's gonna go, to a certain statistical degree. So it's not the exact science, you know, but it's statistics, so it's pretty solid. And look at RWLR. It's dropping, breaking these lows. So see, that's my strategy. Every single spike, I'm adding more shares. Even though like a little more, like 100, 200 shares, it still adds up, you know. It still adds up at the end when there's a major crack. These adds will add up. That's the whole idea. So here, 3 shorts and another 2 shorts there. But you know, because this is a low price stock, it doesn't really create a lot of range, because the higher stock price is, the higher the range can be. That's why it can totally stay within this range and really not do anything till the end of the day. But we'll see how it goes. And it cracks, and I'm up $300 on this one and $800 total on the day. And usually if it drops this much from open, this fast, there's usually a major pullback. That's why I'm waiting for a pullback, so that I can add some more shares to both of my accounts, both of my positions. Now it just keeps cracking. And MRIN, I'm up $530. Pretty solid. Can I see 600 on this account? I just keep observing. MRIN keeps crashing. Still very close to 600 MRIN, and RWLK is 360 profit, close to 190, and I'm almost really want to see this spike so I can add some more shares. Because the midday spike can still happen. It happens very often, more often than not. And we passed through 600 unrealized profit on MRIN. And again, like I was saying, oh wow, almost got to 650 unrealized profit. So my target for this one would be anywhere from $800 to $1,000 with this size, with 450 shares. So I'm really chilling right now, just waiting for the price action to do what it's supposed to do, based on my statistics. So at this point, I'm just kind of patiently waiting, even though it can be tempting to get this $600 profit right now. It's a lot of money, but I know this stock can do more, and my goal is to squeeze as much profit as I can from a stock. So both of my stocks are dropping right now, but I'm still, in the back of my mind, I'm still waiting for this spike so that I can add some more shares. Because the faster the stock drops, the higher the probability that there's going to be some kind of a spike, because all the short sellers will be covering their positions. And as you can see, there's definitely a spike in MRIN. My unrealized profit is 570. At its top point, it was 700 almost. So I'm kind of looking at the both of the stocks. No major spike yet. And guys, I have like 3 different screens. I could only squeeze these 2 accounts into this tiny little screen where you guys can see only one chart. In reality, I have 3 different monitors and 1 laptop, because I'm managing a few accounts and I'm trading on multiple accounts at the same time. So that's why I'm kind of jumping from one screen to another all the time. But these 2, they're my personal accounts, and here we go. This is the spike that I was talking about, and I have 450 shares. And so from now I've seen this pattern so many times, and MRN, it can, from here, it can spike back to the open, it can go further, but like I was saying, my risk is around 1090. But I'm still waiting for the spike to add some shares, and I'll probably, if it spikes before noon New York time, I'll definitely add some more shares, but not too much. But yeah, it looks like it's reversing and it's going down, so it's good. Everything is according to plan. Almost seeing 700. Can we see 700? Let's see. Almost 700 unrealized profit plus 283, so almost at $1,000 today, so pretty solid. Still almost like a half to my profit target for today. So 283 and 700. And no major pullback yet. I'm kind of disappointed because at this point there's always some kind of a pullback, because the stock MRN had around 5 million shares pre-market, and a lot of these shares were short shares. So, and usually at this point, the short sellers, they should be quitting, they should be buying the shares back, but it doesn't really happen yet. But I'm patient and I'm just watching the stock, observing, because I need to make money and I need to make the most of it. So we're past 700 and the other stock is kind of flat, nothing really happening. And let's see if we can see the 800, or we'll see a major pullback, which it must happen at some point. And I'm always waiting for this pullback. Always happens. And I always strategically use this pullback to add more shares. That's just the way I trade. In trading, you have to have what we call a cold head, like you have to be like a hunter, right? You can't follow your emotions. When opportunity comes, one shot, one kill. You enter all at once, or you enter on spikes and then you exit all at once. You can't let your emotions rule you, because that's how you lose. Because even like for me, I'm used to this volume. I'm up almost 800, and I'm used to this volume. And even if the stock goes back up all the way back, and I have to lose 200, even though I was up 700, it's not a big deal to me. Why? Well, because I have statistics on this, and my next play is gonna do what it's supposed to do, even though this play might not do everything it's supposed to do. So, it's almost like smart gambling. It's like gambling where the odds are skewed massively to your side if you're smart about it. So 700 profit on this and 264. There's a little spike there. And here it comes. The spike I've been waiting for. Let's see how it goes. I'm looking at the level 2. I didn't put the level 2 to the screen because okay, let's see, this is the spike. I'm closely looking at level 2 and it looks like there's buyers. There were buyers around 850. around 860. I mean, some big orders. I didn't put level 2 here just because, you know, it wouldn't fit. And I want you guys to see this price action and how I really think, how I add to my positions. And you see what's happening right now. 2 green candles, that's usually the reversal modal. That's usually how the trends break. But I'm not panicking, you know, all the short sellers, they can cover their positions with a profit or loss or whatever. I'm still waiting. I must be like a hunter, and I must be patient. And I'll be adding some shares pretty soon. I'll probably add like maybe 50 shares just to make my negative shares, my short position even, to make it like 500 shares even. So I'm really looking to add. And if it goes further than, let's say, 925 or something, or 950, that's where I'll be adding more aggressively. I'll be adding like hundreds of shares, like, you know. But so far there's no real strong pullback, but that's the pullback I was talking about. The stock is going up. Still 450 shares. And 359.77 here. At 1900 shares total. And we really have this little pullback. And I'm really looking to add these 50 shares. Even though these 50 shares might not add a lot, you know, like if I get like 30 cents on 50 shares, like it's gonna be what, like $15 or something. It still makes a difference, you know. These little share adds, they really do add up, and they really contribute to your profit if you really count it. So 1900 shares. And the same thing for the other stock, you know. I'm still waiting to add. Looks like it's gonna reverse. So I'll be adding 50 shares pretty soon. Yep, I'm gonna add 50 shares. Yep, so my total is 500. Added it here. And if it keeps going up more, I'll be adding more, but I actually track these pullbacks too, you know, every major pullback, like what's the percentage bounce for different market caps and float. But it can go up more. If it goes up, I'll be adding more shares, no big deal. And I just keep looking what's happening. Nothing's really happening here. Now, because this is a low price stock, it doesn't really create range. Oh, look at the MRIN. It's dropping almost at 800 profit. Keeps dropping. And 200 on this other account. And see this pattern, they call it double bottom, whatever. See guys, I don't really believe in these patterns either, you know. Professional traders, they don't really care about double bottom, double tops, head and shoulders, whatever. They don't care about indicators either, MACD. And I know for a fact there's a lot of people who are buying this stock right now thinking it's, you know, double bottom. Well, trust me, it's not. It's not a double bottom. And you always need to look at stocks, you know, in terms of supply and demand. You know, these patterns, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but your strategy must be based on statistics, on data. It must not be. And it's actually 820, my unrealized profit, and I'm thinking I might be closing it. Yep, I'm all out. I made $855, my realized profit. So minus all the commissions, borrow fees, whatever, 841 net profit on this account. Pretty solid. Yeah, so 841 minus $18, so that puts me at around $820 profit on this trade. So it's pretty solid. I know it's a lot less than I expected. I expected to make at least 1,000 on it, but you know, I'll be out. I'll take my money and move on to the next one. I have a lot of work to do. So there's a spike on this other stock, RWLR. There's a spike. Usually for this pattern, this market cap and float, that's what the stock is doing. It just kind of staying in the same range, not doing anything till the end of the day when all the dip buyers are tired. And I'm gonna add another 100 shares on this bouncy up. So now my total count is 2,000 shares, so pretty good. 2,000 shares here. So see, I don't really risk too much, and I'm very smart with adding. So every spike I'm gonna add some more shares because I'm shorting. Now, a year and a half ago, I would do it all differently. You know, I would be adding when the stock drops, and this will screw up my average, and that would screw up with my profits. And then I would see like, oh, you know, I'm not really making money with these patterns, even though they work perfectly. Like, what's the problem? And the problem was my averaging. You know, I must be adding on these spikes. You know, and before that, I remember I would just go all in. You know, I would just go all in on these stocks in the beginning, right when it opens. I wouldn't wait for any kind of spikes. And that what really screwed me over. So I was still making money, but not nearly as much as right now. But you know, just like with everything in life, you get better with time. You get more patient. You get more strategical with your position sizing. And I'm pretty sure this stock is pretty much dead for now, because every little spike kind of drops. So there's really no buyers, and the volume is dropping. So really, there's no buyers for this, and that's really good for me. I'm looking for this stock. I'm looking to make maybe around 700. Oh, and it drops. Actually, I'm gonna quit. Yep, I'm gonna close it right now. Yep, so 426, I'll take it. Yep, 426 and 855. 446, let's see. It's kind of bouncing back and forth, but I'm close to closing this position. Let's say it drops more. And I'll be allowed pretty soon. Let's see how it goes. Almost there. 460. 480, almost 490. If it bounces, I'll probably cut it. And it's back to 446. And it's probably gonna bounce now. So better quit. So today I'm up 1281. That's my total profit for today. And yeah, that's how much I made. It didn't really update yet in my TradeZero terminal, but my total profit is $446 today. And plus 855, so 1281, pretty solid day. I know it's far away from my target profit. I thought I'd be making 2,000, but you know, trading, just like with everything in life, is full of setbacks, and you think you're gonna make 2,000, but then you make 1,281, and you think you're gonna make 1,000 and you make 500. But you know, I take these setbacks over 9-to-5 job anytime, and I'm very happy that I've made this trading thing my main income. And I'm actually teaching students. I'm showing you these strategies, I'm showing you how to track them, how to execute them. I teach you the risk management. So if you want to learn these strategies, there's no better time than right now, because the market is heating up, and it's gonna keep heating up until March. So let me know if you guys are interested. We can set up a private lesson for you. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. And ask me any questions if you guys have any questions. If you have any questions about the strategies that I'm talking about. You know, there's definitely a lot to talk about these, because different market caps, different floats, they work different on different strategies, and you just need these averages, and you need the experience, you need the knowledge how to trade them. And at this point in my trading career, I'm just scaling up. I'm gaining the momentum. I'm increasing my my risk, and as a result, I'm increasing my profits. So yeah. And yeah, I'm all out for today, and probably gonna go to sleep. It's like you know, it's early in Utah. I had to wake up at 7 to reserve all the shares, and now I'm probably gonna go back to sleep. It was a great work day for me, and see you guys next time.